At his end of Parliament press conference at the National Press Theatre, Justin Trudeau cited the deal on the Canadian pension plan, the CPP extension, as one of the key promises and feathers in his cap. But not everyone is so happy with it. This will kick off in 2019. There'll be contributions and they'll phase it in. All provinces, but so far not Quebec and Manitoba, are supporting it. But what about small businesses? Well, to find out that reaction, I'm joined now, of course, by Perrin Beatty, who is the CEO and the president of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. Your reaction, first of all, to the speed at which Bill Morneau, the finance minister, got this deal.
It was amazing how quickly it happened. We were talking about the end of the year up until recently. Yeah. I think what happened is Ontario gave an ultimatum. Either you do it earlier or else we're going ahead with a program which would have been disastrous.
Brad Walls, Saskatchewan, that was the big surprise. I was surprised Saskatchewan because they were saying no at first. What do you think brought everybody together so quickly to buy into this? Was it the gradual phase-in?
I think that was it. I think everybody was concerned about the prospect of Ontario going it alone. If we had a crazy quilt of pension programs across the country, it would have raised issues about portability. It would have raised issues about how a company operating across provincial boundaries would have been able to function. And as a result, then, everybody wanted to prevent that from happening.
Okay, so impact on businesses. I spoke to Lisa Raitt, the finance critic for the Conservatives, and she said, we don't know how much it costs. Why are we rushing this through on a July 15th deadline when it doesn't even kick off till in 2019? What's your biggest concern?
Well, I think, the biggest concern I have is, first of all, we don't know all of the details. I think the government should be asking a parliamentary committee to go out to inform Canadians and to get the opinion of Canadians and get input from them.
But what details, if you had three questions
well,
to ask
if we were looking at the impact on small business, we need to know exactly what the costs are going to be. How does this phase in? What are the costs going to be? And what is going to be the reaction? If you're a small business person, for example, in Ontario, already you're paying the highest cost for electricity anywhere in North America. You're seeing costs continuing to go up. Now you get something else added on top of that, which simply squeezes you that much more. So you're going to have to look at, how do I control costs? Well, I can do it in a number of ways. If I have a private plan and now I'm forced into a public plan, will I simply transfer money I'm putting into the private plan into the public one? So
private pension plans may disappear, if that's one possible reaction.
Well, or be reduced or disappear in some instances, clearly not across the board. Another would be that you put off hiring decisions. I'd like to have another person, however, this is costing me a person year in terms of my payroll. Another is we're looking at increases in pay for our employees in the coming year. Can we afford to do that given the fact the government is taking more from us? So we can find perverse, very negative impacts as a result of this.
Do you think it's necessary, though? You know, the argument for it is that high household debt, the next generation, millennials, aren't saving as much because they got the high household debt. There's concern about the retirement for the middle class. And in fact, there's an urgent need to get this right now. Do you buy that argument?
Well, when we're talking about the millennials in particular, the greatest problem they have today is the current debt that they have. What the government is saying is, instead of using this money to pay off your car loan or your student loan or assisting you to pay off your mortgage, we're going to take this money from you and force you to pay it into the pension plan. The interest that you're going to be getting on that is less than the interest you would be paying into these other areas. The best thing most millennials could do right now is to pay down debt.
But in the last 30 seconds I've got, if you look at the amount of room most people have to contribute to their RRSP for their retirement, they're not doing it. They don't have the money because they got bills to pay.
They're squeezed, and what this is going to do is going to take more money out of their paycheck and put it into this program, and they're going to have to look at how they make ends meet.
So you don't support this?
I have a real concern about it, and it should have been targeted. It should have been something where we really addressed what the actual problem is.
All right, that's Perrin Beatty. So reaction to what Justin Trudeau and Bill Morneau say is a big feather in their cap. For small businesses, maybe not so much.